Hello YouTube, my name is Isabella and welcome back to my channel Stubbornly Bookish. Today I'm going to be filming the mid-year freakout tag. Now this tag was created by both Chammy and Ellie, so I will have a link to their channels below. Not gonna lie, I don't really want to be filming this right now because I already filmed this tag. I really liked my answers. Come to find out that the audio was like fucked and there was just no salvaging it. So I'm very disappointed to have to be filming this again. So I might actually try and get through these answers quickly. We shall see. But yeah, I really like this tag, so that's why I still want to do it. I like reflecting on your first half of the year and just kind of redirect and like reevaluate your goals. Without any further talking, I'll get on into the questions. So the first question is, what is the best book you read this year? And up until June, I think I had only rated one book 5 stars, which is brutal even for me. In June, I read a couple more 5-star books, but my favorite read this year is still my first 5-star read, and that was The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This book is just so fantastic. It really expanded what I thought fantasy could be. It's set in this world where the world is ending and you just have a bunch of characters trying to do their best and they're crazy morally gray. It was just such a great first book. I'm very excited, albeit scared, to read the next book. This book was fantastic. The next question is best sequel you read this year, and I actually haven't read that many sequels this year, which isn't great. But I'm going to go with Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I think I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. Frankly, I think sequels tend to not be so great, especially in trilogies, but this one really just took our foundation of Red Rising and just took off with it. It was incredibly jam-packed with action, and I did quite enjoy this one, although I wouldn't consider it like one of my favorite reads this year. The next question is new release that you haven't read but want to, and I'm going with The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I really was trying to get to this before the Booktubathon, which is starting very soon from like when I'm filming this, and it just doesn't look like it's gonna happen. But The Poppy War is this crazy hyped debut novel that is an adult high fantasy based on Chinese mythology. Frankly, the synopsis is really complicated, so I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but literally everyone has been talking about this and talking about it for so long that I'm so excited to get to this. The next question is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? And I could tell you a couple that I'm really looking forward to, but my absolute most anticipated release for the second half of the year is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I cannot wait to read this book. Strange the Dreamer was my favorite book of last year. I just need to know what happens. It's killing me that I don't know, and it's killing me that so many people have arcs of it, and I want to read it so bad. Also, fun fact, I've been pronouncing it as The Muse of Nightmares for basically since it's been announced, to find out it's actually just Muse of Nightmares, so you learn something new every day. The next question is biggest disappointment, and I had a couple books that I could put on here as disappointing reads, but I chose to go for a book that I was really looking forward to and ultimately let down, and it was Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. I know, I'm disappointed that I didn't love this. I've loved Becky's other 2 books. I just adore them so much. It just doesn't quite live up to her other ones, and there are a couple things that I just didn't love, which is awful seeing as I relate to Leah in basically every sense of her being, and it just sucks that I couldn't love this as much as I love the other ones. The next question is favorite new author. The only author I've read 1 or more books from this year was Pierce Brown, and I wouldn't consider him to be my favorite author. So I then turned to some of the debut books that I've read this year, and I'm actually going to pick S.K. Ali, who wrote Saints and Misfits. This is a wonderful contemporary about a young teen Muslim girl who is dealing with being sexually assaulted. It has a great balance of heavier topics being discussed, but also has such a quality of lightness and just happiness and hope. I most definitely plan on reading anything else SK writes. The next question is newest fictional crush, and to be honest, I don't get crushes on fictional characters anymore, which is actually kind of like sad. The next question is a book that made you cry, and I'm actually typically a baby when it comes to books. I'll cry at just about anything, but I haven't really read anything that's like super heartbreaking or like something to just make me bawl. But a book that did make me cry that I actually kind of forgot about was actually Children of Blood and Bone. Now, when I was reading the author's note and listening how she was inspired to write this story and why she decided to write this story, it really hit me very hard, and it also kind of had things click into place that were placed in this novel for me that I kind of missed on my first read through this novel. If you're not someone who typically reads acknowledgements or the author's note, I definitely recommend you read this one if you've read this book. It's very necessary, I think, to read, and I think it just creates even more depth to this already fantastic book. The next question is a book that made you happy, and I'm picking Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. This is a wonderful young adult female romance, and I just adored basically every second of it. It just really connected and clicked with me and was just so very validating, I think, is what I would say about this one. If you're in the mood for some good, light, fluffy female romance, definitely check this one out. It just made my heart so very happy. The next question is favorite book to movie adaptation, and there's only one answer for this, and it's Love, Simon. I think Love, Simon did something that most movie makers and adapters just aren't able to do, and that is to get the essence of a book and put that to screen, even if they don't like follow the plot and the everything like step by step. This is truly a great adaptation. It's probably one of my favorite ones ever done. The next question is favorite video you filmed, and I'm going to go with my Draw My Bookish life. It was one of my first instances trying to get creative with my channel. I worked really hard on it, so I'm very proud of how it came out. Of course, there are things now that I would have changed if I'd given myself a bit more time, but I am still thrilled with the result. I really liked when I did it. The next question is most beautiful book you've bought. To be honest, a lot of the 2018 book covers I haven't loved as much as previous years, but my favorite is Leon the Offbeat. I just adore the colors. I love the attitude and just the look of Leah. It's most definitely Becky's cutest cover, and it's just, I think it's really striking and fierce. And the final question is books to read by the end of the year. And I've already made 2 videos about this very topic. I made one at the beginning of the year, and I also recently did a Top 5 Wednesday topic about 5 books I'd like to get done by the end of the year. So I think I'm just going to leave those linked below. Frankly, I don't want to stress myself out anymore with books that I have to read by the end of the year, because I tend to really stress myself out with stuff like that. So that's it for the tag. I really hope that this one comes out this time, because if it doesn't, I may as well just thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what your favorite read of the year is, so please let me know down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you very soon. Bye!